Hello again. This is Cameron Say, East Carolina University, and I'm continuing our little excursion into REXX, programming language REXX. This is especially for folks that have not programmed before. So we looked at if statements. First we looked at variable assignments, then we looked at if statements, and today we're going to look at loops. And I'm breaking this down to digestible pieces. So this is going to be a very short video. Baby steps. Okay, so let me back out of this and come onto the system properly. Go all the way to the beginning. So when you bring up your system, you'll see the you'll see the TSO screen. I didn't want that. I wanted ISPF. Log off. So you probably don't need this much practice. You probably know how to get on the system, but I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm going to say LTSO to get on the system. And I'm going to put in my user ID. And notice I have an S down here, so that if I disconnect improperly, I can sign right back on. Put in my password. Take about 13 or 14 seconds to log on. Or what it's doing now is loading the libraries. There are a lot of system libraries that have to be loaded. So now I'm going to go to 3.4 to go to my REXX directory. And to save time, I wrote a couple of programs, but I'm going to modify it so you can see what's going on. And I have one that's called, well, let's look at the do while first. Okay. So loops allow you to repeat over and over again. That's not the one I want. That's a little sophisticated. We'll look at that one down the road. That'll be in the next video. So the second one I wrote called do while too. Loops allow you to keep doing something in a computer over and over again until a condition is met. And that's very useful for a number of reasons. You want to, a lot of times you want to repeat something. You want to go through a list. For example, if your system, a network administrator, you want to add IDs to a list. So you got a flat file with names in it, maybe names and ID numbers. And you want to read those in to the system and establish user IDs and passwords for them. Now, you can do it one by one. And this is what I tell a lot of the folks that want to be network administrators. They say, I don't like programming, I want to work with networks. Well, you're probably going to have to write at least some scripts to do that, because nobody's going to pay you good money to manually create accounts, 1,000 accounts, when you can just write a script and be done with it. So let's see how to repeat something. So very simple. As we said in the first two videos, when I want to run a REXX exec, a REXX program, executable program on a mainframe system, it's called a REXX exec. And I have to, at the top line, I have to have a comment with the token REXX in it, right? REXX, somewhere in that comment. And that tells the system that this is a REXX program, so send this code to the REXX interpreter, okay? Now, this has nothing to do with REXX. Line 2 has nothing to do with REXX, but I like to start my programs at the top of the screen when I'm working on the mainframe, because you know, you don't know, if you start at the bottom of the screen, you might not have enough room to run your program. So I say call in single quotes TSO CLR. That clears the screen. Now, we talked about variable assignment. I'm going to have a variable that I call A, and I'm going to initialize that with a value of 0. So this line here is A equals 0. Very simple, right? And I'm going to say do until A equals 5. Okay, I'm going to do whatever is in the body of this loop until A equals 5. Now, at the start of this program, A equals 0. So each time I'm going to put a message out, this is time, whatever the time through the loop is. And so I probably need to modify that. Well, let's look at it and see. Through the loop. Then after I print out that message, I just increment A by 1 using A equals A plus 1. and notice I have spaces between all the tokens, right? Between the variable and between the operator, between the number, spaces. So the system knows those are separate entities. So let's run this. And as we said in the first two videos, the way you run a REXX program is you type TSO to say you want to run a TSO command. Today I'll show you another way to run this. TSO execute, and I figured out what I can do to run this program is just copy this, put it there, make sure I close the ending quote, and copy this so I don't have to keep typing it over and over again. And let's run it. So actually not times 0 through the thing. Well, you know, you can do it. You can modify that to say 1, 2, 3, 4. So it goes through the loop 5 times. 0, 1. First time through, A is 0. Second time through is 1. Third time through is 2. Fourth time through is 3. Fifth time through is 4. Okay, so that's 5 times through the loop. Now, after this time, A equals 5 and the loop stops. Okay. Pretty simple. Let's change that number. I don't know if I have enough room on my screen for this, but save it. And run it. Yeah, I had enough room. So it goes through loop 25 times, starting at 0, ending at 24. Okay. Now, that's a do until loop. I said do while, but do until loop. So let's do a do while loop. And they do the same thing. It's just different, different verbiage. I think you would use them pretty much the same way. A is not equal to. So as long as A doesn't equal 25, it's going to go through the loop. Save it. And run it. There we go. Same. Do while, do until. Those are the basic loops in REXX. Now, in other languages, you have for loop and you have loop, but basically loop is the same. It repeats something until a condition is met. Now, before we leave, those are loops, right? That's what you need. That'll get you started with loops. The next time, I'm going to show you a much more sophisticated looping scenario. Try to code this up, play around with it a little bit. Let me show you how probably the quickest way to run this code. When you know it runs, all you have to do is go to the listing of the members in the directory listing and just type X. Same thing. Okay, that's it. Baby steps. That's all for today. See you guys next time.